Hello, traders. It is Thursday, April 9th, and we're about 3 hours into trading. Let's see what the market's doing today in this holiday shortened week. Tomorrow is an exchange holiday. We had a nice gap higher and some follow through early, but that gave way to some selling. We came in and checked that opening one, two, three times, and then we rallied off of it. So I believe today we're going to see that support hold at SPY 277. We'll probably also see this resistance hold somewhere around the 280 level, and we'll go into the weekend. Everybody will breathe easy. They'll take a look at the news that's come out, see how the coronavirus is doing, and then we'll resume trading on Monday. We are getting to a point right now where the news coming in on coronavirus is actually improving. So that's one of the reasons that the market has rallied. Before any decent rally could unfold, we needed to see some improvement on that front. We can't get back to our economic recovery until the virus has been contained. And that's what's happening right now is we're flattening that curve. All the projections that came out about a week and a half ago saying that we're going to have 100,000 deaths in the U.S., perhaps as many as 220,000, now have been lowered to about 60,000 projected deaths. So I think that because this number is low, when the lockdown is finally lifted, you're going to see people resume pretty quickly to their normal lifestyles. So we've had the $2 trillion stimulus package. Now there's another 200 or another $2 trillion stimulus package that's being proposed. Plus, there's another 2 trillion behind that. So the government is going to throw everything imaginable at this shutdown, and they are going to try and avoid any hint of a credit crisis anywhere. And it's not just the US, this is happening globally. All the sovereigns are printing money like mad. And they're all guaranteeing each other's currencies through cross currency swaps. So they are going to try and avoid any kind of credit crisis. If this lockdown only lasts till the end of April, I think we'll be in decent shape. If it starts to linger well into May and actually through May, with every passing day, with every passing week, the credit wheels start to really wobble. And then we start to wonder, can these businesses ever truly recover, or will they fail? How many of them are going to take out these business loans? Will all of these loans be forgiven? And this is, in essence, is a pass through, a transfer payment from the government to workers, because the government is saying, you hire all your employees back, you take out this loan, we will forgive your loan. So they're looking for a way to reward workers and to get them back on the job as soon as possible. So we'll see if the plan works out. There's still lots of unknowns, a lot of uncertainty during the course of the next couple of months. So I believe that we're going to see this initial rally. I still think that we have some upward momentum. And I'm going to put up the major moving averages. So we'll go down and we'll click on 200 and 100, and we'll see where those come into play. The 200-day moving average is significant at 300, and then we've got the 100-day moving average at 305. So anywhere between 300 and 305, my gosh, if the market can get back anywhere close to that, I would actually start thinking it's probably time to look at some puts, because this economic recovery is going to take a very long time. This is not going to be a V bottom. And if we get up here and the economic data points start to falter a bit and the recovery isn't happening quite as quickly as we had hoped, then we have a chance for another nice pullback. But even on that pullback, I still think that the low from 2 weeks ago holds, and we will make another higher low. So a series of higher lows would actually be very constructive for the market, as long as we don't get overextended up in this range. Now I'm going to go to a weekly chart because we have another significant resistance level, and that is my first target. That is the 100-week moving average at SPY 288. You can see that that's fairly close to this horizontal resistance level here as well. So multiple resistance points at 288. That's the first area where I think the market will struggle to get through that. If it can get through it, then it might try and grind up to 300, but I see that as pretty a pretty optimistic target given all of the uncertainty right now. There are going to be business casualties. It's going to take a very long time for the travel industry to recover or the airline industry. So for right now, we're going to ride the momentum. We still have some upside to it. So from a day trading standpoint, you need to trade from the long side. By the way, Good Friday or the day before Good Friday is typically a bullish day for the market. So we have that little seasonality working in our favor as well. But after a huge market run and a tight range here today, I think we're going to stay in it. There's a chance, if anything, breakout. If there's a chance for any breakout today, I feel that it's going to come off of a little dip later this afternoon and then a huge surge into the close, breaking through that 280 level. We'll see if that happens. We've had some pretty strong closes in the last few weeks, so that might happen, but my guess is we're probably going to stay in this range. I don't see a lot of people loading up into a 3-day weekend. They will wait, and then we could open higher on Monday. So we've got a good 80 points at least of upside on the S&P 500 as far as I'm concerned. So let's take a look at some stocks and see what we might like today. We see a lot of stocks like this where you've got a double bottom and now we're through this horizontal resistance level. This is WFC, Wells Fargo. They will post earnings next week, which, by the way, earnings season, here it is. So hopefully we'll start getting some earnings. Now, banks will dominate the early scene. So the first week of earnings will be mainly financial institutions. Hopefully they'll be able to give us some guidance, but I don't think they know what their credit issues are going to be in terms of their non-performing loans. Many companies aren't even giving guidance because they have no clarity at all. So banks will be the first to report. I think that we'll see some additional buying into earnings season, and that will help to push the market higher as well. So as I take a look at the stocks in bull run, we're going to click through a few of these and see what we can find for day trading. And then I'm going to show you a couple of swing trades that you can carry overnight. In fact, let's take a look at the two from yesterday. I probably should review those each day. Twitter was one, and if you had bought that and held it overnight, hopefully you took profits this morning because you had some pretty nice ones right on the open. Twitter was good, and we also had VLO was another stock that I highlighted yesterday. It would be a good swing. You can see how that stock continued to grind higher yesterday. Got a really nice pop up here to 53.50 this morning, but you had to take profits on it. So stock is pulling back. Longer term, I do like VLO. I think this is one you could just buy and hold. There aren't any new refineries being built in the U.S., and even though oil prices might go up very temporarily because of an OPEC agreement, that's what's weighing on the stock right now. Doesn't impact VLO because basically they're just making a spread between oil prices and refined gasoline, and there aren't any new refineries being built, so those profit margins remain healthy for a very long period of time. I think this is a stock you can buy and salt away. So those two did pretty well yesterday, and why don't I just go right to today's swing trades. SYK is Stryker, and I just put in the wrong symbol. SYK is Stryker. They make prosthetics and a lot of medical equipment, and you can see how we've got this cup and handle. We've got a breakthrough, this lip right here, and we have continued strength. Let's take a look at that 5-minute chart. See what we've got going there. Beautiful strength. Look at this breakout and continuation. This is exactly what we're looking for when we day trade. We'll put up that 1 OSI indicator. That's going to show us how strong the stock is relative to the market. And you can see orange line above zero. It has been above the zero line all day long. And we'll put the SPY up, and you can see this is exactly the pattern that we are looking for. So stock above prior day's high. That means that there's not a lot of overhead resistance. And then we get this compression right in here, this tight price compression with the S&P 500 pulling back, this gray line. So market, pull back, pull back, pull back. What does the stock do? Compress, compress, compress. As soon as we have a little bit of market support right here, whoosh, off to the races. You can either buy right here on that market support, which is what I like to do. and then you have a very tight stop just below that compression. So you have very limited downside and fantastic upside. Some of you that might be a little bit more conservative, you could also drop a alert line across these tops. It would come in right about here, and you could wait for that upside breakout and that alert. That'd also be an excellent entry point. I like SYK. I believe you can hold this stock overnight. So that's one that I think that you should consider. And now let's take a look at what we've got in Bull Run here. And I'm going to just flip through these charts. First of all, I'm going to show you this is what Bull Run looks like today. A lot of stocks in here. What I typically do for my day trades is I just keep pounding, 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 pounding these top 10 stocks. That's all I do. I just keep going through them over and over and over again, and the list changes. So I look for exactly that pattern that I just showed you. This is nice. This is a nice breakout. You want to be in on that breakout, buy it up here? No, too late. You want to be in early, like right on this breakout. That's a good entry point for it. Let's see if we can find one. There's another nice one when it gets through this breakout in here. That would have been a nice entry point. Align has been very, very strong, and it's in a really nice grind right now. I know some members in the chat room have been trading it. Snap looks great. It's been a really nice breakout in here. I think you could buy Snap. That's one that I'm going to say yes, buy Snap. That's a good one for day trading. And it also looks good on the D1 chart. And you can see how it's filled in this gap and it's continuing to go higher. It's got plenty of room to the 200-day moving average. RH, we're going to go through. Nice bouncer, double bottom, higher low through this resistance point. Yes, I think RH could also go. Let's take a look at that 5-minute chart. Yep, starting to climb. Going to try and get through this resistance. Watch it right in here. Make sure it still has its relative strength. Keep your S&P up in the background. As long as the S&P holds its own, we don't need it to necessarily rally. We just don't want to pull back. As long as it treads water near the high of the day and this stock is able to get through that resistance, that's a good entry point for us. If that breakout fails, boom, we get right back out. So keep your downside very minimal in terms of risk and maintain that upside. These are all nice. Like I told you, I just keep pounding through this bull run list until I find something I really like. EXPE, I really like this stock. I think this is a good swing stock that you can buy as well. We'll take a look at that D1 chart and you can see this double bottom higher low. If it gets into this gap right in here, I think it's got a really good chance to fill in. Well, how do I trade that information? You click GTC, you double click on this tail, and now I have a GTC alert. When the stock goes through that price point, I'm going to get a pop-up alert. Doesn't matter if it happens today or a month from now. I'm going to know when it happens, and I'll be able to join that trade. During the course of the day, as I flip charts, I'm constantly putting these alerts up. And maybe during this presentation, you'll see an alert come up and we'll be able to take a trade. But by putting those alerts out, when I see a price point that I'm really interested in, that delivers trades to me on a silver platter. When the market breaks out, I don't have to go pecking around. I already know what I want to be buying. You can see the market starting to break out a little bit right here. Go into that daily chart. You can see it's trying to get through that high of the day. Would I buy it right here? Probably not. I don't think there's enough strength to get through. I think this will be a little bit of a head fake, probably sucker in some buyers. And then as soon as they get in, you'll see a couple red bars on the backside, flushing them out, and we'll stay in the range. I don't see a meaningful breakout until later this afternoon if we get one. So EXPE is another good swing trade. Now, if I wanted to really narrow my list, I've got a couple ways that I can do that in Bull Run. I can use this H1 filter. So now these stocks are on Bull Run and they also have a bullish trade signal on a 1-hour basis. I can click H2. Now they have a buy signal on a 1-hour and a 2-hour basis. If I want to be really selective, I can click the D1. So now I've got buy signals on all these time frames from the one option system, and these would be your best prospect. So let's take a look at some of those, see what they're doing. We're pretty much going to focus on the 5-minute chart because we already know on a daily a 2-hour and 1-hour basis, these stocks already look good because they're on a buy signal. So now let's go through and take a look. Snap X looks good, just breaking out through that resistance level. Got the market trying to break out. BAC looks good. The banks are really strong today. Wells Fargo continuing. Uber, nothing going with Uber. Would I trade Uber here? Do I like Uber? What's this pattern in terms of me wanting to get in on this trade? I don't like it because look, it's flatlined all in here when the market's been going higher. It's been able to hold that opening gap and compress, and that's all fine, but it's pretty lifeless to me right in here. It's not doing a whole lot. If I wanted to, I could just take and drop a horizontal line right there. If it gets through, I can evaluate, see if it's getting any strength. That's how I would play it. So there's nothing here for me right now, but there could be later. So all of these stocks, I'm just clicking through. There's a nice breakout on HD. You could trade that. JPM, really nice move through resistance here. You can see the strength in the banks right now. This is how we day trade. There's no big magical secret to this. Option Stalker shows us the stocks that we want to focus on. We're always looking for relative strength. That is our edge. And we're also trying to evaluate the market and determine market direction. So we feel that the market's in bullish mode, then all we want to do is focus on bullish stocks. The market doesn't look like it's going to pull back hard. If it just treads water here, we're looking for these stocks that are just poking through resistance and that have relative strength. That's it. I've shown you a number of stocks that we're just kind of clicking through right here. These are all good selections. Just make note as you're going through the video. And banks right now look like stocks that you want to be owning into the close. They've got earnings next week. This additional $2 trillion stimulus should remove any type of credit risk. And these stocks are starting to rebound today. They've been laggards. I think they've got some room to run. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss any of these videos. If you do that, you'll know every time I post one, and you never know when I'm going to post them. I try and do one every day, about 3 hours into trading, but if I see something really good, I'll post it over the weekend. I'll post it at night. I might even post it before the open. So I hope you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you. Happy Easter, everyone. We'll see you Monday morning. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.